Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have something from Salomon. Always happy to review this brand, absolutely fantastic brand. Let's find out what we have, because these are all new Salomon Madcross trail running shoes, and check this out. I mean, if does not scream, look at me, then I don't know what does. I mean, this is one hell of an attention-getting shoe if you're into that sort of stuff. But they do have a few different color variations. The links are in the description below. I have a link for Amazon and I have a link for Salomon website. Sometimes better prices on Salomon website, I've noticed, even than on Amazon. They have their own promotions going, so check out both links just in case if you want to buy these shoes. But overall, I have to say I am very impressed with these shoes. I love the comfort level. At first, I thought that they were similar to their Supercross, and they kind of are in a way, but let me tell you, they are, in my opinion, my personal fit, way better than Supercross. Way by far better than freaking Supercross. And Supercross is decent, but this is fantastic. Lightweight, comfortable, excellent outsole, and I will talk about later about the outsole in details, and I'll tell you why I prefer these over the Supercross much more. Overall fit is perfect, more narrower type of fit, more snug type of fit. If you like that, you will appreciate these. This is what I personally like. Excellent inner sole, ortholite, all of the features we will talk about later. So if you are ready to start the review, let's get into it. As some of you already know, this review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival boot section, although I know this is not a boot, this is a shoe, but more of an Ultimate Survival shoe, right? I only have one section for that, the whole category, so I decided not to create a bunch of stuff in order without, creating the confusion. So if this was not just your regular trail running shoe, but something bad happened and now you are surviving, you had to walk, you had to run, you had to climb, you had to fight, you had to wear these shoes without taking them off for days, weeks, whatever. Would this be good to survive in? Well, how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin with criteria number 1, of course, comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the shoes and boots that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run and then a 5-mile walk. No stops, no pauses in between, and then I continue wearing the shoes for the rest of the day so that the total wear time is about 8 hours. Just kind of to get like a full shift, full day of wearing, just to see how they feel. And like I said, I love the comfort level of these shoes. There are, of course, several factors that contribute to the comfort level. Let's start with the first one, the weight. And I got my scale over here. This is size 10. And like I said in my previous video, from now on, I will start trying to guess what the weight is. And I think this is, I would say, just under 12 ounce, maybe 11.8. Let's see. Size 10. 12.5. I was close, but I said under 12, so I did not guess this one. 12.5. Pretty good weight. Now, to give you a little bit of a reference whenever it comes to numbers, if you are looking for a boot, mid-size, full-size, whatever, try to find something under 20 ounce. And overall, just under 20 ounce is the good weight. The more under 20 ounce, the lighter. Over 20 ounce, now you are getting in that heavyweight category, right? But whenever it comes to shoes, I would recommend trying to find something under 15 ounce. If you can find something under 10 ounce, fantastic, but most of the times you're not gonna have practically any protection. Here is a very good balance between protection and weight, and we'll talk about the protection later, but 12.5 is very, very good for the trail runners. This is definitely pretty good weight overall. Now, another thing, obviously, that contributes to the comfort level is the flexibility of the outsole. And here, it's Salomon's outsole that they're using here, the rubber. It's a very nice, good quality hard rubber, but at the same time, as you can see, it is very, very flexible. So yes, you can run without any problems in the shoes? Well, I would hope so that you could, because these are trail runners after all. And yes, they're very, very good for running. You can run properly without any problems, without putting stress on your ankles, on your knees, and so forth. Another thing that contributes to the comfort level is the inner sole. And I'm going to take it out. And here I think it could have been a little bit better. Now, Ortholite is a great inner sole overall. What it does is it basically kind of like a wickering technology. So if you're running, your feet are sweating, this kind of wickers the moisture and prevents the bacteria from spreading. So pretty good overall. In my experience, I love Ortholite. However, one thing I kind of wish there was to see here is that there was a little bit more, not a little bit more, like support in general, because there is really this R support. It only looks like it's R support, but in reality this is too floppy. There is no heel bed, nothing. So I wish Salomon implemented a little bit more of that support, considering this is a good Ortholite. So I would say, hey, go ahead, replace it. But I like Ortholite, but not much of support in it at all, and not much cushioning either. Plus, once you remove it, you go straight into the very hard, very hard midsole. So you don't really have, yes, you can run properly, but once you're tired, if you start putting that stress on your heel, man, you're gonna get fatigued pretty quickly, because there is really not much of the impact protection going on there. Okay, moving further, we have some very decent amount of cushioning here in the shaft, in the tongue, and moving out through the whole shoe. You have, this is very soft. I love this. This is very, very soft fabric, so it feels very good on your skin over here. Plus, this is the creasing point, and creasing point meaning that usually this part creates a pressure point on your foot. Here, because it is so soft, you don't really care about it. It's very nice and soft. And then, of course, the front of the toe box is hard. So keep in mind, we will talk about the sizing later, but you do want a little bit of space between your toe and this, so that your toe is not pressing into the front of this, because you're going to get fatigued very, very quickly. So overall, on the comfort, speaking of comfort in general, excellent comfort. I just wish that the inner sole was a little bit better. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 2, proofing and protection. Now, proofing wise, there's really not much to talk about. These are not waterproof, and I wouldn't even kind of see a point of making this waterproof, because these are, there's barely any clearance for waterproofing here in the shaft. About what, 3.5 inches? Kind of pointless, but this will dry pretty quickly because the fabric is very light, so that's fine with me. Speaking of the protection, you do have obviously decent amount of protection from the outsole, very hard contact grip, Salomon rubber. I like it. This is what I personally use on all of my hikes. It's the contact grip is in Salomon X Ultra 3 Mid GTX. They have very similar outsole. You do have a little bit of kind of a protective cap on the toe box. It's still soft, keep it in mind, don't drop anything heavy, but it will protect you from small rocks, so pretty good. Obviously, your ankles are wide open, and the heel is more or less reinforced. So not much in the proofing and protection. Let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality in the design features. Now, quality-wise, Salomon is a fantastic brand, one of the best out there. Top brands that I personally prefer for not just survival, but really anything outdoors, hiking, camp, whatever you really are, into. I love Salomon brand, and you can check their reviews. They're excellent. This shoe just came out on Amazon, so it's brand new, so there's not any reviews on the shoe just yet, but I'm sure they will be coming in like pretty quickly. All right. Now let's talk about the design features. Here I talk about the lacing system. Very basic lacing system, nothing to talk about. It's the flat, thin strings. I don't like them very much, but they do the job, and they're lightweight, so that's fine. There are 4 total closed hooks just going through the fabric, and they work fairly well. Surprisingly, it's very easy to tighten the shoe. No problems there at all. Let's move on to the criteria number 4, outsole. Traction and stability. So, Whenever I do my run and my walk, I do that on the variety of different surfaces, starting with older asphalt, going to the newer tarmac, dry sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, trail surface, concrete, marble, tile, rubber, and then the rock wall. And this outsole is excellent. It performs very, very well on pretty much anything you throw at it. It is a little tiny little bit slippery on marble and tile because there is really not much. I wish there was some grooves going on these on this pattern, kind of to give that slip resistance that is really not too hard to implement, especially in something like this. But Salomon decided to keep it strictly trail running, which is completely fine. That's what it is. This is a trail running shoe, but because this is Ultimate Survival boot review, I like to see versatility in general. So not as good for flat, shiny surfaces, but great, fantastic on the trail. I mean, you can run on the wet, slippery grass without any problems because there's excellent amount of bite. Now, in the beginning, I mentioned the Supercross versus this outsole. What I don't like about the Supercross Salomon's is that the grooves are too long over there, and when you have the too long of the grooves, they become too flexible. So you see how I can bend. Still, it's pretty tough on this shoe, but on the Supercross it's much more bendable because the grooves are much longer, so you have a little bit of the wobble whenever you're running. Not the case here because these grooves are not too long, so overall, as you can see, it looks for the most part pretty flat, so pretty good overall. I like this outsole. This is, in my opinion, this is much better than the Supercross. Okay, so let's move on to the criteria number 5, temperature. No point, obviously, to talk about cold, winter. It makes no sense. These are not waterproof. These are not insulated. Yeah, no point. But in a hot temperature, which I was testing them in, 95 degrees, about 95 here in Florida, excellent. Very nice, very breathable fabric. I love it. Criteria number 6, really quickly, the sizing. Yes, these are true to the size, but I would recommend getting half a size bigger, just like I always do on all my shoes, hiking boots, trail running shoes, work boots, tactical boots, combat boots, whatever really kind of stuff that you think you're gonna spend a lot of time walking in, running, whatever. Just a little bit of extra space in the toe box so that your toe is not smashing into the inside of the toe box, because it will get you fatigued pretty quickly. Let's move on to the criteria number 7, balance of application. So, if this really was your ultimate survival shoe, would this be good for your survival, or would they get you killed? Well, it's a matter of preference, really. At the end of the day, if you are the type of person that thinks about the survival situation as just running and running and running and running and being as fast as you can and getting away from danger as fast as possible, this is pretty good option. This is a fantastic option, especially if you're planning to run through the woods in the middle of nowhere, right? Just random terrain, through rocky road, through the grass, wet grass, dry grass, sandy surface here and there. That would be the choice, all right? Obviously, if you want more protection, if you want waterproofing, obviously that wouldn't be the but if you are just a runner, yeah, that kind of survivor, this is a great option in my opinion, because you can run for as long as you can run without getting any kind of fatigue, you will be fatigued from putting the effort in, but not from the shoe on your feet. And the very last criterion that I wanted to mention here is criterion number 8, the price. $100 currently on Amazon. Like I said, the links are in the description below. The Amazon link and Salomon link might be cheaper on Salomon website, so check it out. $100, I think it's a definitely fair price, especially for a brand new model that just came out. Obviously, in probably few months after being on the market, the price will go down tiny little bit. But overall, I think it's definitely fair. Now, in that price range, $100, there are a lot of options out there on the market. I've done a lot of reviews here on this channel, so check them out. There's a whole trail running shoes playlist on this channel, and there's plenty of variety in that price range. So if Salomon is not what you're looking for, check out other reviews and I'm sure you will be able to find something. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this review? What do you think about the shoe? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below and I will be happy to address them. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Ultimate Survival Gear. I'll see you guys in the next video.